Good morning, everybody.
Hello.
Happy day 5. Congratulations, you guys. Some of you guys are doing so well with this. I'm really seeing your discipline and your determination.
Thank you for sticking with it. You guys should honor yourselves.
Seriously, it's no easy thing. If it was easy, everyone would do it.
Right.
And I'm really seeing some of you step up to the plate and sit through some really uncomfortable stuff, and you're seeing the benefits of doing that.
Mm-hmm.
And I just wanted to acknowledge that in person.
Yes.
So I commend you guys. So today we are going to change it up a little bit, and like some of you may notice,
We are recording from the roof.
we're recording from the roof of the RV. We're out here in the high desert. We moved to 15 minutes this morning because you guys are in your big boy stages now. So we're doing 15-minute meditations, and today was a little bit different. We're doing breath work, which is a little bit different than the guided meditations we've been doing.
Mm-hmm.
And it can be a little bit challenging if you're used to sort of occupying your mind with this journey in meditation, because breath work, we're just focused on how and when and where we're breathing.
Right.
So it is such a beneficial practice. Simple, but not always easy.
There we go.
As those of you may have noticed who practiced this morning's meditation already,
Mm-hmm.
it can be a little bit more challenging because your mind is like, oh, I'm done. Why are we still breathing? Are we done? Can we go do this? Can we go do that? Karen, I think it was you said something about in this morning's meditation, you noticed your mind was, trying to get you to move on to the next things. What else do you have to do? And the power through sitting through this, it's so beneficial for your body and your emotions.
There is nothing that's going to train your mind to be obedient faster than bringing yourself back to the breath when your mind starts saying, oh, I've got to pay bills today. I've got to go to the mall today. I've got to do this today. I've got to do that today. When you sit in that meditation and you focus on the breath purely,
Yes.
and every time your mind wanders, you don't bring it back to a guided state. You don't bring it back to a story or, an image or anything like that. You just bring it back to the breath as a state of observation. That is where you train your mind.
That is where you train your mind. So the guided meditations are like easing into it, and it's like the entry, level. And, pranayama is like your next step. It's your next indicated level of practice.
There's definitely benefit and power to
we got
where
wind.
we going. There's definitely benefit and no, it's the other one's the big one.
I see.
There's
Close
definitely benefit and power to the guided meditations.
Totally. Relaxation and clearing.
Yep, going into that space of potential where you can design things.
Yes.
But
Visualize and manifest.
if you want to train your brain and your mind to be an obedient servant, breathwork is where it's at.
And that's why I am an advocate for having a arsenal of meditation practice tools, because they all serve their purposes.
Yeah.
I very much use guided and visualization meditations. I use them for releasing. I use them for clearing. I use them for visualizing where I want to go. We use them for manifestation, healing. And then, my pranayama and my breathwork meditations are my discipline. So for those of you who already did this morning, and the Tonglen and the breathing into what makes you uncomfortable, I really commend you guys for doing that. Powerful, powerful stuff. Reading your comments is like just breaking my heart open. I love seeing what you guys are doing. The realizations you guys are coming to, the empowerment, I am just blown away, and it just fills up my heart on the deepest level. So I thank you guys for that. So the benefits of breath work, and the one we did this morning was the 3 parts, breathing into the belly, then filling up the ribs, then filling up the heart, is just one type. And then I had you guys do a few of the lion's breath, the double inhales and exhales, and so many of you loved that. What it does when we practice this type of breathing is it switches up our nervous systems. So I'm not going to go into a whole physiology thing, and it's something I always kind of need to check back on, despite my anatomy and physiology trainings that I've took. It was years ago, and this is something that we do teach and focus on in yoga. So you guys all know we have, a couple of nervous systems in our body, and we have a parasympathetic and a sympathetic. And those are two parts of the autonomic nervous system. And the autonomic nervous system, just a little refresher, is what controls our involuntary and reflexive functions in our body. So our heartbeat, our breathing, the stuff that we don't have to think about to make happen, right? Reactions that we don't have to think about. Physical reactions, like if something's falling and you jump out of the way, that is your parasympathetic nervous system. So,
sympathetic.
Well, no, because if it's a reaction and you're not even thinking about it.
Fight or flight. Sympathetic. Parasympathetic is your rest.
Oh, right. I'm sorry. I mixed that up. Sympathetic nervous system. We're correct. So, when we think about how we are constantly in this state of worry and anxiety and fear, that puts us into fight or flight mode all of the time. It means we are always on guard. We are always, up here. We're always looking out for what the threat is.
Hello, adrenal fatigue.
Adrenal fatigue. Guys, we don't need to live this way. I know that, advertising in the news and 24 hours a day sensationalist and blah, 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 and propaganda wants us to live in a constant state of fear. But guess what? It's not real.
Unplug, dude.
It's not real. So the power lies within you and each one of us to take responsibility for where we are and train ourselves to flip the switch, change the nervous system, and slip into rest and digest mode, which is parasympathetic nervous system. This is where we reach a state of equilibrium in the body. I can't preach this strongly enough that if for no other reason you practice breath work, it is to give your body a break. If you guys want to feel physical reactions to a breath work practice, this is the thing. Any type of pranayama. So when you're just when the sympathetic nervous system kicks on, a whole number of things happen, right? Think about what happens when your adrenaline starts pumping, right? Your heartbeat's racing, right? The breath, your bronchial tubes in your lungs dilate because you need to be able to take in more oxygen to breathe. Your pupils get big, right? All of this stuff. Your muscles contract. You feel that your stomach freezes up, right? I know you guys. So think about this. When we are constantly operating in that state, no good.
Do you know what adrenaline does to your arteries? Makes them go hard.
And this is why so many people have heart attacks and heart problems.
If they're not flexible, if they go brittle, then any sort of gunk gets in them, they can't open up and allow that to pass. And that's why stress is responsible for more heart disease in the world than what smoking or drinking these things, we smoke and we drink and we carry on like that because we're stressed and we want to de-stress, but the stress is causing the adrenaline and the adrenal fatigue, it's causing our arteries to go hard. So you're going to end up in a really bad state physically if you don't practice breath work.
Stress is worse on the body than almost anything else in the world. And that is one of the key reasons that we are so unhealthy as a whole. I can promise you guys that practicing some type of pranayama breathing, you will begin to feel better physically. Your body will thank you. There are so many things that... So let's talk a little bit about what happens when you kick on the parasympathetic nervous system, the rest and digest. So it moves much slower, right? And this is where homeostasis is controlled. And what is homeostasis? Homeostasis.
I like that word.
It is balance.
Homeostasis.
Balance.
Balance.
Balance. So this homeostasis restores the body back to a state of calm and counterbalance. And this is where we can truly relax. This is where we can repair the damages and the unhealthy things. This is why so many of it, when we get ill and we're stressed and we can't get better because we don't allow ourselves a chance for the body to rest and repair. Right? So when the parasympathetic nervous system is activated, our saliva is increased, our digestive enzymes are released, So that right there is improving our digestion, meaning we're able to take in more nutrients from the food we eat. Our stomach problems will fade away when our digestion is increased. And when we get more nutrients from the food, our body can use those nutrients, especially when we're eating good foods, to repair.
There we go.
Right?
Doesn't that sound like fun?
So our muscles relax, our urinary output increases, and if that means that we're flushing our body more, right? Our heart rate drops, the bronchial tubes in our lungs constrict. So there's just the body is not intended to operate at this fight or flight mode. Constantly. We're not cavemen. We don't have to fear dinosaurs and saber-toothed tigers. That's not the world we live in. We don't have to be on high alert all the time.
But even cavemen had it more dialed in than we do in terms of this.
They sure did.
They weren't jacked up driving to work TPS reports.
TPS reports.
They had their adrenaline fire up when they were hunting. When they took the hunt, they went back to their cave and they moved their boulders in place and they made their meal for their cave nuggy wench. They relaxed.
They sure did. They sure did.
I mean, I've heard, I don't know, I wasn't there.
I was there. I've touched on it in my past life regressions. I took it there. So it's just, there's so many factors and reasons why that's a whole nother video for a whole nother day. Pharmaceutical industry and the medical professional, Western medicine doesn't understand that we don't need to medicate ourselves for everything.
Right.
There are so many things. I want you guys to understand that I had very real anxiety disorder growing up, and it was never diagnosed. I was borderline panic attacks, and I held them within myself because I wouldn't allow them to show outwardly. This is one of the biggest reasons that I turned to drugs. I didn't know how to tell people how I was feeling, right? So I hid my anxiety. I hid it. I suffered through it alone for a very long time. I do not need anxiety medication today. I use breathwork. I'm telling you, I used to have panic attacks if I had to speak in front of class, do public speeches. That's all gone now.
Speeches.
I know. So the benefits to pranayama and breathwork are vast and infinite. So I encourage you guys to, if nothing else, take away from this a promise to yourself to incorporate a regular pranayama breathwork practice.
Yeah, look, reading some of the comments on the video this morning, don't shy away from it because it's a challenge. Don't shy away from it because it goes against your other programs.
Because your mind is like, let's go. We don't need to breathe anymore. Let's go. We're wasting time.
Don't. Do yourself a favor and work with it. You are where you are. Sit with it. Whatever resistance comes up, you know what? Breathe into it. Breathe into the resistance.
And some of you guys did that already this morning, and I fucking was dancing at the kitchen table when I was reading these.
She was.
Because it excites me so much to know that you guys are experiencing this. This is why I offered this 7-day boot camp challenge, so that you guys could come to this and these realizations. It's so beautiful and so powerful.
Yeah.
So tonight, Chris is going to guide you through another pranayama breathwork practice. And we really are looking forward to it. And I encourage you guys to...
One of my favorites.
Google some pranayama breathwork. We also have a pranayama page on Hug Your Chaos. I'm going to link that in the group here. Because, 10 or 15 minutes is just, it's not enough time to really dive into the technical aspects of stuff. But I encourage you guys to go and jump in and read on your own and Google and practice. See what works for you. See what speaks to you. There are so many different pranayama practices that you can incorporate. And even just 5 or 10 minutes a day will do wonders for your body.
Yep.
Your bodies will thank you. So we will see you guys later tonight. We'll see you in the group. Let's all just take a into the belly, letting that air just spread through us. Namaste and blessings. on this beautiful day. Much love, everybody.